Hello yogis, and welcome back to another session of your beginner program. So today's session we're going to continue to build on what we were learning last session. We'll still have a very steady pace, we're not going to go too quickly, and revisit some of the postures that we did last session as well as including some new ones. So without further ado, we'll get started straight away. So come down, laying down onto your mat. Just maybe on your backs, maybe taking the left hand on the heart and the right hand on the stomach. Or maybe you just want to bring the hands by the sides. Take a moment to relax your body, to roll the shoulders down the back, to take a full deep breath in through the nose, and a full exhale through the nose. Take a moment to really focus on the breath as it moves in and out. Through the nose. Maybe the air feels cooler as you breathe in through the nose, and slightly warmer as you breathe out through the nose. Let's take 3 nice full deep breaths here, breathing in, expanding the rib cage, filling the lungs with as much air as you possibly can, and full exhales, fully relaxing the stomach, relaxing the shoulders. Again, taking full deep breaths in, filling the lungs with as much air as you possibly can, and exhaling fully. Let's take one more breath here. Nice full deep breath in through the nose. And a full exhale through the nose. And then just take a moment here in stillness to set yourself an intention for your practice today. Maybe to be more present, more focused, more still. Or maybe it's something else that you want to focus on. Just set that intention for yourself now. And then taking a full deep breath in through the nose. And a full exhale through the nose. Gently flutter the eyes open and bring the right knee up. And hug the right knee in towards the chest. Remembering to flex the toes, pushing the left heel away from the body. Relaxing the shoulders. A nice full deep breath in. And as you exhale, maybe pulling that knee in a little bit closer. And then we'll bring that right knee towards the right hand side and in towards the right armpit. Just maybe releasing that left hand down onto the left hip. And then we'll just switch sides and bring the left knee up. Extend the right leg out long. Again, flexing the toes, really pushing that right heel away from the body. Taking a full deep breath in. And a full exhale. And then taking that knee towards the left hand side. Again, maybe releasing that right hand down onto the right hip. Take a couple of breaths here. And then we'll bring it back through center, bringing both knees up, hugging both knees in. Again, relaxing the shoulders. And then we'll take it into that inverted pigeon. Let's bring the left sole of the foot down onto the ground. Cross the right foot over the top of the left thigh, and then thread the hands through and around the back of the left leg. Pulling the left leg in towards the body as you gently push that right knee away. And then the same on the other side. Let's take the right foot down, bring the left foot, cross it over the top of the right thigh. Remember, if it's enough for you to stay here, you can stay here. Otherwise, if you can, reach and thread the hands through and around the back of the right leg, thread them through. And pushing that left knee away as you pull the right leg in. And then gently releasing. From here, we'll take the hands by the sides, lift the feet all the way up towards the ceiling, flex the toes, so push the heels up towards the ceiling. Think about pressing that middle back into the mat, so engage in the core and into those single leg raises. So inhale as you bring the right heel down towards the ground, and exhale as you lift the right heel up. And then the left side, inhale as you bring it down, exhale as you lift it up. One more time with the right foot. Inhale to bring it down. Stay strong through the core. Exhale as you lift it up. And then last time with the left leg. Inhale as you bring it down. Exhale as you lift it up. And then from here, we'll go into our double leg raises. So this time you're going to keep both feet together and you're going to slowly lower the feet down towards the ground. If you need to keep a slight bend in the legs, or if the feet don't come all the way down to the ground, just bring them down to wherever you can get to, and then bring the feet all the way back up. So again, focus on pushing that middle back into the mat, flexing the toes, bringing the heels down towards the ground. Again, if you need to keep the legs bent, you can do, hovering the heels and then lifting the feet all the way back up. Let's do one more time. Inhale as you bring it down, really focusing on the core, pushing the middle back into the mat, and then bringing it all the way back up. From there, just release, hug the knees in towards the chest. And then find your way all the way up to seated and into your lateral stretches. So just cross the legs over however you find most comfortable. Bring the spine nice and tall and long. Let's take the right hand out to the side, reach the left hand up, and then take it over into that lateral stretch. Remember to pull back through the shoulder, open out through the chest, and only start to bend and lower down into that right elbow as long as that left sit bone isn't coming away from the ground. Take some full deep breaths in, so filling up the lungs, expanding the rib cage. Full exhales. And then we'll just switch sides and take the left hand out to the side, reach the right hand up, and then bring it all the way over to the other side. Really reaching through the fingertips of that right arm. Just trying to get that arm nice and straight, pulling back through the shoulder. And then from there, we'll bring it all the way back through center and then take it over into a cat-cow. So into tabletop, you're going to come over onto all fours, spread the fingers nice and wide, stack the shoulders on top of the wrists, knees underneath the hips. Push gently into the tops of the feet. Inhale and pull the chest forwards, arch the spine and look up. Exhale, round the spine, bring the chin in towards the chest. Inhale again, bringing it forwards, arching the spine and looking up. Exhaling, rounding, chin in towards the chest. We'll go for one more of those. Inhale to bring it forwards. Exhale, rounding, chin in towards the chest. And then we'll just take it into a neutral position, still stacking the shoulders over the wrists. We'll take the right hand and reach it forwards. Notice if you reach the hands forward and you start to sort of dump all of the weight into that left arm. Try and keep everything nice and strong. Let's push back through the left heel. Hold it here. Inhale. Exhale, take the elbow in towards the knee. Inhale, reach forwards with the right hand. Exhale, elbow in towards the knee. One more time. Inhale, reaching forwards. Exhale, elbow in towards the knee. And then we'll slowly switch sides. So again, keep the core nice and strong. Bring the left hand forwards. Take the right foot, push it back. Notice if you're starting to get that arching in the spine. Keep everything nice and strong. Inhale as you reach. Exhale, elbow in towards the knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. And one more of those. Inhale, reaching forwards. And exhale, elbow in towards the knee. Okay, gently releasing. And then from here, tuck the toes underneath. And then sit yourself all the way back towards the heels. Very important here, if you've had any operations in the feet, and if this is really painful, bring yourself out of it and just sit back instead with the feet tucked under the other way. Bring yourself over onto the heels. Make sure that little toe's also tucked underneath. It's really important that we stretch out our toes. You're going to interlace the fingers, push the hands away from the body, and just bring the chin in towards the chest. So rounding the spine. Take a breath here. And then push the hands away from the body. So the palms of the hands now, flipping the grip, going to push away. Bring the chin in again towards the chest. So rounding the spine slightly, a nice full deep breath in. A full exhale, and then taking the palms of the hands to reach all the way towards the ceiling, lengthen the spine, hold it here. We're just going to take one nice deep breath in, a full exhale, and then we'll release. Take the hands onto the ground, untuck the toes, and then gently just push the tops of the feet into the mat, or you can just pat them out. Okay, from here, let's find that downward facing dog. So tuck the toes, lift the knees away from the ground, and push the hips all the way back and up towards the ceiling. Let's pedal it out, bending through the right knee and the left. Soften out through the legs. And then holding it there in stillness. So spreading the toes nice and wide, spreading the fingers out. It's probably your first downward facing dog of the day. So maybe you want to take a slight bend in the knees. And then let's walk the feet all the way forwards to the top of the mat and find our ragdoll. So bring the feet so they're just about hip width apart, and then grab hold of opposite elbows, a slight bend in the knees, and allow everything just to hang heavy and forwards over the legs. So release everything. Maybe gently swaying from side to side, maybe shaking the head, maybe nodding the head yes, or shaking it no. And then just fully relax here in this posture and hold. Let's take 2 more breaths. And then allow the hands to flop all the way down to the ground, and we'll slowly roll the spine all the way up to standing. And then we'll take those shoulder rolls. So push the ground away with the feet. Take the hands by the sides. Just take some big shoulder rolls back and forwards. Then take the hands into heart center. So we're going to run through that flow that we did in the last session. So this repetition should help you remember the different movements as we go through. So it will be familiar. So starting at the top of the mat, spread the toes out, stack the hips on top of the ankles. Notice if you're arching the spine, and try and keep everything nice and strong here. Hands into heart center. Inhale, reach the hands all the way up overhead. Take a nice big stretch up. Reach through the hands, the palms of the hands are facing towards each other. And then exhale and fold it forwards. Take the hands all the way down towards the ground. Take them next to the feet. A slight bend in the knees to get the stomach against the thighs. And then relaxing the forehead down towards the shins. Take a couple of breaths. Noticing if the weight is more in the heels than in the balls of the feet, and try and shift the weight a little bit further forwards. And then on your next inhale, we'll find our halfway lift. So just lengthen the spine, take the hands up onto the shins, squeeze the shoulder blades together, take a full deep breath in, and a full exhale. Just take the hands down to the ground and step all the way back long with the right foot and then with the left. So you can come into this high plank. So again, if the feet aren't far enough back and they're too far forwards, chances are your bottom's going to be a little bit too high up in the air, like a downward facing dog variation. So keep it forwards here. Strong through the hands. Push the ground away. Engage the glutes, the legs, the core. Take one more breath in. And then exhale, don't move anything with the upper body, but just bring the knees to the ground. Untuck the toes. And again, we're not moving much with the upper body. All we're doing is bending into the elbows and then bringing the chest to the ground. Take the feet so they come about mat width apart. Slide the elbows forwards so that the elbows come underneath the shoulders. Spread the fingers out for your sphinx. Think about pulling the mat in towards your body. Remember, if the elbows are a bit too far back, chances are you'll be a little bit too close to the ground, to your mat. Take the right ear over to the right shoulder, stretching out through that left side of the neck. Take the chin down towards the chest. And roll the left ear over to the left shoulder. And then bring it back through center. Gently bring the chest back to the ground, hands under the shoulders, and find your way back into your downward facing dog. Lifting the hips and pushing them back towards the ceiling. Taking a three-legged dog, lift the right foot all the way up. And then we'll bend into that right knee. We'll take some big circles with the right knee. So draw some really big circles in one direction. Take the circles in the other direction. And bring that foot down. Bring the left foot up. Bend into the left knee. And then big circles with the left knee. Stay strong through the arms. Take the circles in the other direction. And bring the left foot down. And then from there, we'll walk the feet all the way forwards to the top of the mat. Again, just take the hands next to the feet. Bring the forehead down towards the shins. Release. Inhale, bring it all the way up to standing. And exhale, hands through into heart center. Okay, again, inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. If the hands come to the ground, bring them to the ground, otherwise keep them on the shins. Step it back for your high plank. Stay really strong here and hold. Keeping the shoulders stacked over the wrists, keeping the glutes engaged and the legs. Keep the weight on the left foot without moving anything apart from the right foot. Lift the right foot up, hover and hold for 3, 2. Switch sides, bring the right foot down, take the left foot up. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Lower it down, bring the knees to the ground, untuck the toes. Find that sort of push-up position, lowering all the way down, and then find your back bend onto the elbows. Again, thinking about pulling the mat back and in towards your body, lifting the chin. Bring the shoulders away from the ears. Squeeze in the glutes. Okay, gently release the chest back down. Hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. From here, we're going to lift the right foot all the way up. Again, noticing the weight across all 3 points that are on the ground. Try and keep it nice and even. The right heel is lifted as high as you can and pushing back through the right heel. And now we're going to step the right foot in between the hands. So bring it all the way forwards. However you need to get it there, and take the left knee down onto the ground. Untuck the left toes and we'll find our low lunge. Reaching up with the hands. Send the thumbs back. Thinking about pushing this right hip back and pulling the left hip forwards. And noticing if we've got this kind of bendy back going on, and trying to keep everything nice and strong here in our low lunge. From here, take the hands behind the back and interlace the fingers. Once you've got the fingers interlaced, lift them away from your body. If you can squeeze the wrists together, bring the wrists together, and then lift the chin. Hold it here. And then gently releasing. And from here, we're going to take the left hand onto the ground and reach the right hand up into a twist. So holding in this easy twist, thinking about pulling, again, still in with that right hip. So you're still trying to keep the hips quite square, but you're just twisting through the upper part of the spine. Okay, take the right hand down, tuck the left toes, lift the left knee, find that downward facing dog. Let's take that to the other side. So bringing the left foot up now. Again, noticing the weight across all 3 points that are on the ground. Try and keep it nice and even. Pushing back through the left heel. And then stepping the left foot all the way forwards. Find that low lunge now on this side. Reaching up with the hands. Sending the thumbs back, lengthening the spine finding length. Just take another breath here. And then bring the hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers again and open out through the chest, lifting the chin. From here, we'll take the right hand down onto the ground. We'll lift the left hand up and find a twist. Take the gaze up towards the left hand. And then bring the left hand down, tuck the right toes under, lift the right knee from the ground. This time we're stepping it forwards. Bring the right foot forwards to meet the left and then fold forwards over the legs. Keeping that back nice and flat as you bring it all the way up to standing. And then bringing the hands through into heart center. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we'll step it back through a high plank. And then we'll hold it here, take a deep breath in. Keeping the upper body and everything nice and strong, only bringing the knees to the ground, untucking the toes. Again, keep everything nice and strong through the upper body, tucking the elbows in so you can bring the chest down towards the ground and then finding that back bend. We're going to keep on the forearms. We are going to play around with a different back bend variation in today's session a little bit later on. Just take the chest back to the ground, hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing. Let's go with the right foot again, lifting the right foot up. And stepping the right foot in between the hands. Just a reminder, if it gets stuck, do not worry, just bring it forwards. Come up onto the fingertips, find the strength in the legs, and then rise all the way up now into a high lunge. So bring the hands all the way up, send the thumbs back, strong through the legs. We're going to interlace the hands again behind the back. Stay strong on that back leg. Keep lifting the left heel from the ground. Squeeze in the glutes, lifting the chin, holding 3 breaths. Let's bring the hands back up into a high lunge. And then we're going to take the left hand down onto the ground. So left hand's going to come down inside of this right foot and you're taking a twist now. Keeping the right hand lifted, twisting out towards your right hand side. Reach up through the fingertips. Keep the hips quite low. Pulling back through the right hand. Take one more breath. And then take the right hand down. Step it into a downward facing dog. And then lift the left foot up. Okay, left foot steps forwards. Rise it all the way up into a high lunge. So notice in your high lunge, if you've got the legs quite straight, this would be more of a pyramid pose. You want to keep that deep bend in the left knee, so the left knee is stacked over the top of the left ankle. This right heel wants to stay popped up. Your glutes want to be engaged. You don't want to have too much of an arch going on in the spine. You want to keep everything again nice and strong, tucking the pelvis in, and then take the hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers, open the chest, lift the chin, hold in 3 breaths. And then we'll reach the hands up, back into a high lunge, and then the right hand comes down this time. Left hand reaches up, keeping the hips nice and low. Still strong through the legs. Take the gaze up towards the left hand. Again, notice if everything feels a bit soggy and you've lost control here. You want to get that really strong activation through the legs. Even the arm wants to be pushing the ground away. And then we'll take the left hand down. We're going to step the right foot forwards to meet the left and find our way into a standing forward fold, taking the hands next to the feet and the forehead towards the shins. 3 breaths here. Slowly release and bring yourself all the way up to standing, rising all the way up. And then taking the hands into heart center. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, high plank. Strong again through everything, just bringing the knees down, untucking the toes, bending the elbows to bring the chest towards the ground. And this time, bring it into your Sphinx. Take the feet nice and wide, and then we'll just come into a little baby cobra. So rather than having the shoulders and the elbows stacked here, we're going to slide the hands back just a tiny little bit to lift the elbows from the ground, but only if there is enough space in your lower back. If you start to feel some pinching, then come back down to here. Okay, so lifting the elbows, let's hold. And then slowly release the chest down, hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes, lift the hips and find your way into your downward facing dog. Lifting the right foot all the way up, stepping the right foot forwards, in between the hands, maybe finding a bit of that stability first on the fingertips, engaging the legs, reaching it all the way up into a high lunge. Again, checking in with that posture, strong through the legs, sending the thumbs back. From here, we're going to bend the elbows, we're going to cactus the arms, open through the chest, and you're going to bend into the left knee and just hover it so it just comes over the ground. And then lift it all the way back up into a high lunge and inhale. Exhale, bend into the elbows, bend into the back knee, cactus the arms. Inhale, lifting up, bending into the elbows, cactusing the arms, opening through the chest. Inhale, lifting up, high lunge. Exhale, bend into the back knee. One more time, inhale to lift up. And then exhale, bend into the back knee and bring it all the way down to the ground. Untuck the back toes, take the hands behind the back again, interlace the fingers, open through the chest, lift the chin. And then from there, take the hands inside of the right foot. Wiggle the right foot to come all the way over to the right side edge of the mat. Realign your hands so you're stacking your shoulders over your wrists. Keep the spine nice and long. Options to stay up here, to bend into the elbows, to bring the left elbow down and maybe the right. Making sure that you're still pushing into all four corners of this right foot. Now we're just going to hold here for a few breaths. And then bring it back up onto the hands. Tuck the left toes, lift the left knee, and step it back into a downward facing dog. Let's pause there. Take a couple of breaths. Lengthen through the sides of the body, pushing the hips back. Lift the left foot all the way up. And then step the left foot all the way forwards in between the hands. Find your balance. Bring it all the way up into a high lunge. Hold here. Engage the legs. Inhale. Exhale, bend into the back knee. Cactus the arms. Inhale, lift up, high lunge. Exhale, bend into the back knee. Cactus the arms. One more time to lift it all the way up. And then bend the back knee so it hovers just over the mat. And then bring it all the way down. Untuck the back toes, take the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers and open out through the chest. Lift the chin. And then we'll come into that lizard lunge on this side. So the hands come inside of the left foot. Wiggle the left foot over to the left side edge of the mat. Realign the hands so you're stacking the shoulders over the wrists. Now, if this back knee in your lizard lunge is too far in, chances are you won't feel as much of a stretch. So you want to make sure that you do have that nice long stance with the legs. Again, either staying up here or bending into the elbows or bringing it down onto the forearms. And we'll stay here for a few breaths on this side. And then bringing it back up onto the hands, tuck the right toe, lift the right knee and step it back for a downward facing dog. Again, let's just hold here for 3 breaths. Check in with your downward facing dog that you can always bring it forwards into that high plank position first. Lifting the hips to push the hips back and then just taking the feet in about 1 inch or 2 just to find the sort of the space between the hands and the feet. Okay, let's just take the knees all the way down to the ground and then come into some seated stretches. So again, if you need to sit yourself and prop yourself up onto a block or a book or a cushion, make sure you have that handy. So either take yourself onto that now or pause the video and then take the soles of the feet together, bring the feet in towards your body, take the thumbs into the balls of the feet, wrap the fingers round, keep the spine nice and tall and long, and then keep relaxing the hips as if you're trying to bring the knees down towards the ground. Don't worry if the knees are up here. If you are still feeling a stretch up here, that's absolutely fine. And then from here, we'll keep the left foot in where it is and just extend the right foot out in front. Flex the right toes. Again, just make sure that you're sort of facing in the same direction as that right leg. Reach up with the hands. Inhale. Create space, find length through the spine, and then fold forwards over that right hand side. And just like we mentioned in the last session, if this is enough of a stretch for you, then stay up here. Focus on taking the stomach towards the thigh. Once the stomach's reached the thigh, start to bring the chest down and then the forehead. Relax the head and the neck. Staying here for another 3 breaths. And then we'll walk the hands all the way back up and then just switch legs. So bring the right foot in now and extend the left leg out long. Again, pushing that left heel away from the body, flexing the toes so they're pointing up towards the ceiling. Reach up with the hands, lengthen the spine, create space. And exhale, fold over that left hand side and relaxing the head and the neck. Again, not worrying too much about what the poses should look like. Listening to your body. And then let's release, walk the hands all the way back. And then we'll just take the soles of the feet up onto the mat, maybe holding onto the knees and rolling the spine all the way down. Or just find yourself again into a laying down position. Take the knees into about a 90-degree bend. Take the arms out to the sides, so sort of cactus in the arms, or you can extend them all the way out long. We're going to drop the knees over towards the right hand side, and then we'll just gently turn and twist to gaze over the shoulder. And again, relaxing the head, the neck, the shoulders, the knees, the feet. Just focus on slowing down the breath. Noticing how the breath feels through the nose as you inhale and through the nose as you exhale. Taking one more breath. And then just bringing it all the way back through center. And then slowly lower them down towards the left hand side And then we'll just gently turn and twist to gaze over the right shoulder. And again, relaxing the head, the neck, the shoulders, the knees, the feet. Just focus on slowing down the breath. Noticing how the breath feels through the nose as you inhale and through the nose as you exhale. Taking one more breath and then just bringing it all the way back through center. Let's hug the knees in and then we'll bring ourselves up to seated. If you are taking a Shavasana, please feel free to take a Shavasana now. Otherwise, just bringing yourself into a seated position. Let's take the hands up into heart center and bow the head down towards the heart. Taking a moment to just show yourself some love and some gratitude for showing up for yourself, for taking some time for you, for your practice. Taking a nice full deep breath in through the nose, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, maybe revisiting the intention that you set at the beginning of the session and trying to find a way to take that outside of your practice. Taking a full deep breath in through the nose and a full exhale through the nose, and gently just fluttering the eyes open. I just want to thank you for sharing your practice with me today. This concludes session 2. So the next session that you'll be moving on to is session 3. Again, as we've been doing through the first session and this session, we're going to move quite steadily, build up the pace a little bit towards the end of the program. But for now, we just really want to get used to those postures and the sun salutations moving through from standing to come down towards the ground. So enjoy the rest of your day, your evening, wherever you're at, and I'll see you next time.